All right, so this is the Ethics in a Nutshell, Chapter 5 discussion. For this discussion, I was assigned utilitarianism and feminist care ethics. To start off with utilitarianism, it is a basic descendant of consequentialism, and it's basically the belief that we as human beings, people, are morally inclined to make decisions and to do things that maximize our net pleasure. An important distinction there is we're not maximizing personal pleasure, it's overall net pleasure. And so that can become a little complicated. There's some good examples in the readings if you want to go check that out and get a better grasp of it. But pleasure is defined as the only thing that's valued for its own sake, and that nobody should value their pleasure or hold their pleasure um, to be more important than another creature's. I was overall a little confused about this when I first read it, but the one example in the reading, all the examples in the reading are really good, but the one that helped me through it the most, I guess, was the one about the toothbrush. And so, according to utilitarianism, if you say that your toothbrush has a lot of value to you, then technically that wouldn't be true. It would actually be your teeth being clean. But that actually wouldn't be true either. You value the food that your teeth being clean allow you to eat for the nutritional value and the taste, and so on and so forth. You can dissect it and go levels deep to try and find the root of the pleasure, but you can't do that with pleasure itself. It's valued for its own sake. And so that's the basic rundown of utilitarianism. My second topic was feminist care ethics, like I said, and this is something that was in response to the male stream approach in history, and that addresses the importance of relationships and human lives as an irrefutable truth concerning our experience. We're all interdependent creatures, and we depend on relationships to help us grow and flourish. We almost need them, and it holds them in very high regard. It also claims that any theories that don't take the importance of those relationships seriously are eternally flawed. And and so, yeah, a lot of importance on relationships. It can be complicated or kind of misleading with the feminist word at the beginning, but this doesn't only apply to women. Now, in comparison to utilitarianism, another great example in the book that I enjoyed was that if someone said they wanted to spend time with their mother because it brought them a lot of pleasure, then an advocate for care ethics would say that instead you should just simply do it because she's your mother, and she brought you into this world, and the relationship that you have with her should be strong, and that you should really value your relationship with your mother, not just because you enjoy it personally. And so after going through both of these, studying up on utilitarianism and care ethics, utilitarianism in particular, drug use seemed like the clear ethical issue of choice. So, for example, say maybe you've tried cocaine a few times with a friend. Yeah, it's obviously illegal, but man, does that dopamine reuptake hit the spot. And so utilitarianism says that you should just do a couple lines because you definitely experience a lot of pleasure compared to most things, and there should be nothing wrong with that, according to utilitarianism. The care ethics perspective was a little bit difficult to think through, but what if you tried cocaine on your own in the past and you enjoyed it, and then after that you never really did it all that much, but one day your brother, who you're very close to, approaches you and practically begs you to have a conversation with him over some cocaine, and doesn't really seem to want to do much else. Care ethics would suggest that the importance of family relationships is very strong. It should be very important to you, and that you should just go ahead and indulge a little with your brother, your own flesh and blood, because that relationship is something you should hold in high regard. I'm not exactly sure if those examples of the way I did that was how you wanted us to go about it. But I tried to make it work. And so that will wrap up discussion ethics in a nutshell number 5.